Treyarch just added a brand new weapon that drills and screws zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. The new power drill melee weapon was just added into the game as part of the hit list event that's live until December 5th, and in this video, I'll be giving you the fastest way to unlock it, showcasing gameplay of how good it screws the zombies and elite bosses, and even gameplay against the boss fights Patient 13 and the Liberty Falls Lockdown. Before we get to the video, smash the like button and subscribe if you're excited to drill zombies in Black Ops 6. As mentioned, the power drill is the new melee weapon that can be unlocked via the hit list event in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. The hit list event lasts until December 5th, and in order to unlock the power drill, you'll need to get 1,000 skulls in either multiplayer, Warzone, or zombies. In multiplayer, you get 1 skull for every player you eliminate. In Warzone, you get 5 skulls per elimination, and in zombies, you only get 1 skull per 5 eliminations. So I'd say the fastest way to get this done is to either go into Area 99 Resurgence or Nuketown, but if you just want to stick to playing zombies, the Alamo rooftop strategy will get you there in no time. However, once you do collect all 1,000 skulls, you'll be able to select the power drill in your dedicated melee slot. Now that you know how to unlock it, let's get into how it did in-game against the zombies, bosses, and main boss fights. So right out of the gate, this is the 3rd melee weapon that Treyarch has added into the game. It's the first of the DLC season. Previously, we've only had the knife and the baseball bat, which have been okay. The baseball bat's pretty shitty, honestly, but the knife does really, really well. And this is just an improvement on both of them, to be honest. I'd say it does about the same damage as the knife. However, the swing speed on the drill is much faster than either of the 2 previous melee weapons that were in the game. And I think that's why this is at this current time, and I'm sure later in the future they'll add more melee weapons in, but right now I'm comfortable saying the power drill is the best melee in the game. Again, you'll notice the difference in swing speed. You can just absolutely hack away at the zombies here, and it's really, really good if you pair it with the melee macchiato augment that allows you to gain health for every kill that you get. You're still not going to be able to just sit in a corner and continuously knife this thing, but it will perform better than the other 2 melee weapons in the game, and that's what you always like to see when we get these DLC weapons. So you're just not like, I kind of wasted my time getting this thing unlocked or leveling it up. I'll also note that it seems like there might be kind of like a lunge knife with this. Not that like you're physically being lunged into the zombies like World at War, but I think there's just multiple animations, and maybe it could just be the speed of the animation or the animation itself, but it does seem like you can actually hit the zombies from a little bit further away than the knife. I don't know if you're able to do that with the baseball bat versus the knife, but it just seems like to me that you can actually kind of stand a little bit farther away from the zombies and still get the kill than you could with the knife. Moving into how it does against the zombies and the armored zombies, again, it's incredibly effective if you have it pack-a-punched and leveled up. It will get you to like pack-a-punch on either of the maps, but once you get to about that like round 3, 4, it starts to fall off pretty hard. In this gameplay, obviously, I had hidden power active on the lower rounds just so that I could speed my way through to the boss fight to see how it does against the main bosses, but I'm confident in saying that if you don't have that, you're still going to be fine if you're running this as your main weapon for the game. Obviously, if you're just trying to play and have fun, maybe try and get a secondary weapon to, if you take down the vermin and the parasites in both the maps. It does suck against those 2 specific zombies / like bosses, but against the main zombies and the armored zombies, you're gonna have absolutely no problem killing these things. It'll get you into the 30s with absolutely no problem. Moving on to the Manglers, it completely decimates them too. I mean, it's like a literal 1-tap up until the 20s or 30s, depending upon how much you've leveled it up. I'm confident it probably, like I said, does the exact same stats as the knife, but where it really shines is its swing speed. So even if it really does take like 2 or 3 kills in the early 30s, it's still going to kill a lot faster than the knife because you have that extra swing speed with it. You just really got to pair this with melee macchiato to get that augment in order to really make it super effective, and you can honestly main this the entire match that you're playing with relative ease. With the amalgams, I was scared this was going to be really, really terrible because when I did the knife and the baseball bat and I was playing on Terminus, it's really tough to get close to the amalgams without taking a ton of damage, either from them just slapping you or like grabbing you and pulling you in and then throwing you at the zombies, and you kind of just really, really have some scary moments there. But the power drill shreds these amalgams, man. I was so surprised. It's like a 2-tap to the amalgams in the mid, like, 20s, honestly. It's just crazy how quickly you can destroy these things, and I was really not expecting that. I mean, the knife performed pretty well, the baseball bat was okay, but this thing, again, with the swing speed, you can just run up to them. You don't even have to worry about them hitting you or grabbing you and pulling you in. Don't be scared. The more you hesitate with the amalgams, the harder it's going to be for you to kill them because it gives them more opportunities to hit you or grab you. Just run full up into them, knife them twice, and they'll be dead. Now, with the Abominations on Liberty Falls, it's still really bad. There's not a good melee weapon in the game right now that can clear these Abominations very well. Even when they have their mouths open and you're standing in front of them like an ether shroud, just non-stop like swinging at them, I don't understand. It's just so hard to kill these things. It's the same way with the knife, same way with the baseball bat. This is the only area I don't think that the power drill improved upon the previous version of the knife or baseball bat. Like, it's just the same, I'd say, in terms of killing the abominations, which I feel like at some point they're going to have to add in something like the Wajasaki from Cold War or something with like a bigger reach, but right now it's really just almost impossible to take down the abominations in this game with a melee weapon. Not saying you can't do it, obviously you can do it and you need to do it in order to get the mastery camos unlocked, but at the end of the day, like, there's just nothing fun to deal with the aboms right now. And it's fine, like, it's cool, I'm sure they'll add something in, but yeah, just performed really, really horribly against the base version of the abominations. Moving on to the boss fights, we're going to start with Nathan, and to be honest, it was really underwhelming. For as good as it performed against regular amalgams, I was expecting it to do just as good, if not a little worse against Nathan, but yeah, it was absolutely terrible. Like, it wasn't the worst gun in the world to use against him, but it definitely didn't perform as well as I thought it would. So now moving on to Patient 13, and I feel like this is where most people will be interested in seeing how it did, and I'm not gonna lie, it surprised me with how good it was. So what you want to do if you're using any of the melee weapons, but specifically the power drill, is aim for the red boils that are on the left and right side of his body. Now the trick is to get the boils to pop up on the left side. The right one's really, really hard to hit. You're gonna have to jump off the ledge into the water to knife at it in order to make contact, but you can stand on the ledge on the left side of the platform and hack away at his boils. And again, it absolutely fries this guy when you hit him in critical damage. Now phase 1, super easy. Phase 2, it gets a little bit harder because you kind of really just have to continuously swing at him, and he does do some like crit damage because his whole body is crit damage in phase 2, obviously not as much as his mouth, but you can really kind of get through him pretty quickly. The first phase, like I said, fly through it. Second phase starts to slow down. The last phase, you can get through it. I wasn't able to make it through. I didn't have the patience to finish it, but what you want to do if you do, for whatever reason, want to beat the Terminus Easter egg and beat the boss fight with just this power drill, or any melee for that matter, is to jump off the backside, and in the back left corner, there's one area that you can swing at him. And really no zombies spawn back there. The only thing you got to be careful for is either like a straggler zombie that does spawn in, or the gas. The gas will kill you really quickly, but you can just keep hacking away at him, and really only having to jump down there if the electricity attack starts. But if you wanted to finish this boss fight, just keep hacking away at him. It takes forever in this stage because you're doing such little damage, but once you do, you'll get another red boil to spawn in the front of him, and then you can just go back to jumping off of him and hitting the red boil, and you should be able to clear him out in no time. I didn't have the patience to get him down. Honestly, I went back into spawn and used the mutant injection and try to cheese it and get the boils to spawn, but I couldn't do it. He just ended up eating me pretty much right away once I got a mutant injection, and that was really shitty. But it really does perform a lot better than I thought it would against the actual boss. It's obviously not as good as a shotgun. It's not as good as most of the bullet weapons, but if for whatever reason you're trying to do the Terminus Easter egg melee only, this is probably going to be the one that you want to run because of the swing speeds, because you only have so much time to swing at him uninterrupted before the zombies pull up and start swinging back at you. Moving into the Liberty Falls lockdown, obviously the Liberty Falls boss fight is much easier than the Terminus boss fight because you're really just killing HVTs, and it really performed really well. I'd say it was underwhelming against the boss Manglers. I thought it would do much better considering you literally one-tapped the normal Manglers at that round. It took a couple of swings, maybe like 7 or 8 to kill off the big Manglers, which really isn't that big of a deal. But where I was scared for it to perform against was the elite HVT Abomination, but this thing absolutely fried him. Like, it wasn't like 1 or 2 hits and he was dead, but I feel like I was killing that elite HVT Abom much easier than I was just the regular Abominations throughout my playthrough, and that kind of surprised me because I figured those would probably have more health. I don't know if I was just doing more crit damage to him. I don't know what it was, but it just felt like I absolutely shredded him for as much as you could shred him with that melee weapon. But yeah, guys, that's really all I have to say on the power drill. It's absolutely fire. It's got to be the best melee in the game right now. I'm sure within the next season or two we'll get some other super OP melee weapon. Of course, we probably have those rumored DLC 1 swords that are coming alongside of the new map. But in terms of just base weapons that you can take in with you at the start of the game, this is the best of the 3 that we have right now. And not sure why you would want to do that Terminus boss fight solo, or any of the boss fights solo with the knife only for that matter, but if you're trying to push yourself and challenge yourself, it is possible. It's much better than the baseball bat. It is a little bit better than the knife because of the swing speed, but overall, man, it's such a great little addition to the game. It's so nice to see like a little bit of an increased, melee weapon, because obviously everyone was probably maining the knife. Now people are going to switch over to the power drill, and it'll just be cool to see if Treyarch keeps adding these slightly better melee weapons in throughout the game to kind of shift the meta a little bit. Maybe they add one in that'll kill 2 or 3 zombies at a time, but the swing speed will be much worse. But then they'll add like the E-tool back in, which the swing speed is literal instant, but it only kills 1 zombie at a time. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. There's also another weapon in the hit list event. It's like a community thing. It's a full auto pistol that will unlock for everybody once the community gets like, I think it's like 25 billion total kills or total skulls across all 3 modes. So Obviously, might take like a day or two to get there, but probably by the weekend, by like Saturday, we'll have that unlocked for everybody too. So you won't even have to do anything if you're just playing the game naturally. It's not like you have to do a specific challenge. So of course we'll review that, see how it does against both the bosses, and we'll be back here once that drops too. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Have a good rest of your day. Stay hydrated. Peace.